recently just got back from a trip to Chiang Mai. I just finished editing all of my other videos and I can honestly say it was such an incredible trip and I would recommend it to all of my friends. So that's why I've put together this Chiang Mai bucket list of things that you must do when you're in Chiang Mai. Also, Jess and I were sent there with Value Alliance partners Scoot and Nok Air, so I'll talk more about that later. So the first thing on the list is an elephant sanctuary. I have made an entire video about this and it was so incredible. It's definitely one of the main tourist attractions in Chiang Mai. They're quite famous for their elephant experiences and things like that. I think back in the day, elephant shows and riding was the most popular thing, but we've since realized and discovered that those elephants are pretty much abused and tortured their entire lives, so it's really not an ethical thing to do when you're in Thailand, so please don't do it. Instead, you can go to an elephant sanctuary. It was the most incredible experience I've ever had. You can go watch my whole video about it. There's a lot of footage of elephants slow motion ear flapping, and it's just the most happy thing in the world. These are all elephants that are rescued from places where they're treated poorly and they can't be released safely into the wild, so that's why they can just live the rest of their life out in a happy place. This one that we went to is called Happy Elephant Home. It was absolutely wonderful, but I'll list a bunch of the best ethical elephant sanctuaries in Chiang Mai down below, and it was roughly $75 US, I think. It was worth every single penny. Amazing. You got a little something on your nose?
Oh, really?
Yeah. Just yeah, right. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, you got it. Oh, yeah, you got it. You're good. You're good. The next thing on the list is called Doi Inthanon National Park. When Jess and I were there, our hotel, the Giant Bamboo Hut, which is also in the same national park, they took us on a little mini tour of around the area. But you can also book your own tour from many of the stores just in the main city center. These places are everywhere, so don't worry about that. When we went there, we went for a hike through some waterfalls and over some hills. We actually were able to swim in some of them, even though we didn't have swimwear to wear, but it was really fun anyway. And there's a giant temple on top of a hill. To get to a lot of the places, you need to have a driver to go around. So in order to see all of this stuff, you need to book a tour. I'm not too sure of the price of what some of them are. I might list it here to be helpful. It was so beautiful and I can't recommend it enough. So the next thing on my list is to stay at an awesome hotel for a really cheap price. Jess and I were able to stay at two really incredible hotels. One of them was called the Giant Bamboo Hut and Sukantara Cascade Resort. Both of these places let us stay there for free in exchange for a YouTube video about them, which I was happy to do because they were so beautiful and just incredible and wonderful. The Giant Bamboo Hut was the most amazing experience because you're literally living off the grid in a house that is made entirely of bamboo. They've got their own little kitchen downstairs. They take care of you completely. They take you all the way out there. There's no reception on your phone, which is kind of a blessing. It's right by a waterfall, so all you hear is the sound of nature and running water non-stop. I can't even describe how amazing this was. Oh, there's my alarm. And the other one was Sukantara Cascade Resort. And this place was definitely a lot bougier than the other one, but it's still just as filled with nature and just so many birds that were just chilling out. It was basically built on a waterfall or right next to a waterfall. Just a stunning place. I can't really describe to you how beautiful it was, but yeah, you can go watch an entire video about both of these things. I'll list them below. Personally for me, when I go to, especially traveling to Southeast Asia, where the prices for things are a lot cheaper, you could very easily stay in a hostel, and these hostels will run for anywhere from like $2 to $6 a night, and I will definitely do that at a couple of places. Every now and then it's nice to splurge, with quotation marks, on a place that's maybe somewhere around $30, $40, $50 because you can get a lot for that. Jess and I stayed at another hotel, the Golden Bell, and it was really beautiful and breakfast was included and all of that, so you can experience a little bit of luxury at a very cheap price in Chiang Mai. Right, next thing on the list is the temples. There's so many temples in Chiang Mai and you can all find them within the main old city center square. There's a bunch of different ones, the main ones being Wat Chedi Luang and Wat Sutham. I'll include a list of the ones here, but we only got to experience maybe 4 or 5 different temples. You obviously don't need to go see all of them because they could get a bit samey after a while, but they are so beautiful and there's so much culture. And do keep in mind though that there's a modesty standard, so you need to make sure that you've got your legs covered and your shoulders and your midriff covered. But don't worry if you don't have that kind of thing, like I was often wearing shorts or a singlet when I was there. they'll give you a little scarf, a little sarong thing that you can tie around your waist in order to enter the temples.
Is that Hannah or is that a Christmas tree?
Next thing on the list is the Sunday markets. Obviously only available on a Sunday. Markets in Southeast Asia are just the most fun experience because they've got some crazy and weird things that you can experience or you can just look at. Either is fine. And they've just got so much food, holy crap, and all of it is amazing. So I would say the Sunday markets are a food paradise for meat eaters and for vegans. There's obviously a lot of like trinkets and clothing stores and everything around as well. But once you walk around there for a little while, you probably realize that they all kind of roughly sell the same things. But yes, the markets are massive and there's just so many of them and it's wonderful. Highly recommended. Next thing on the list is to get a Thai massage. Yeah, these are everywhere. They're all really, really cheap. They usually run at about 250 baht an hour. That's a standard price for a low-cost place, but you can go a little bit more expensive if you wanted to. But there's also a couple of places that do a very different experience. So there's a place where you can get a massage by a prison inmate, and they mainly do this so that when they get out of prison, they're able to find a job quite quickly. So that's an experience you can try. There's also a blind masseuse parlor that you can go to. We didn't get to try this one out, but it seems like a great idea. Next thing on the list is to ride in a tuk-tuk, obviously, because if you're in Southeast Asia and you didn't ride in a tuk-tuk, did you go to Southeast Asia? So they've got these two different kinds of tuk-tuks. There's a regular tuk-tuk, which is this one, or there's this one called a song thayu, which is a shared taxi, which we didn't realize until they picked up two random people. You can haggle the price on these things usually, but to be honest, it feels like a lot of effort, too much effort for me, and the price difference will probably only be about $1 or $2 when you do the actual conversion. If I ever feel like I'm getting ripped off by someone, or I don't really care because I may only get ripped off like a maximum of $10. But anyway, that's just my opinion, but yeah, I would say don't worry too much about trying to haggle the price. It may be more effort than it's worth in my opinion.
Wow.
There's also another national park called Doi Suthep that's also quite beautiful, I'm told, but Jess and I were not able to check it out because we didn't have enough time. But yes, that's another option if you're down for that kind of thing. And now some tips for things that you should do. There's actually only 2 tips. So the first tip is to get a SIM when you're at the airport. They're crazy cheap. I can't really remember what the price is, but very cheap and very, very useful. And my next tip is don't worry too much about booking things ahead of time because there's so many companies there and you can pretty much book everything when you're there. I chose to book the elephant tour ahead of time, but that's because I wanted to make sure that I chose the right tour. But yeah, pretty much everything you can book it when you're there. So as I said at the start of the video, Jess and I were sent there by Value Alliance, which is a flight booking agency website, and we were flown with Nok Air and Scoot. I've flown with Scoot many times before when I was living in Singapore, and I've never had any issues with them. It is a low-cost air carrier, so you can't expect the world from them. Their regular seats are quite small, their food is also quite minimal, but I really don't care about that kind of thing because it's cheap and you always get what you pay for. Personally, I nearly always go with the cheapest airline and I don't really care too much about the quality because that's part of the fun. We were actually lucky enough to get to fly in business class on our way there, which was my first business class experience, and it was really, really nice. The seats were quite large. We were able to spread out a little bit, but the food was very, very, very small. But yeah, now that you know that ahead of time, maybe take a little extra food on with you. Also, because I like to be very honest with my subscribers, I found that the website Value Alliance was actually a little bit difficult to use. It got a bit glitchy and certain flights would appear and then disappear, but they are working to improve these kinds of issues. So yeah, once again, you get what you pay for. These are the kinds of hurdles that you have to go over in order to get the cheap price, unfortunately. They have just released a new flight route from Tokyo to Chiang Mai, which is very efficient and we didn't need to stop over for very long. And if it's the cheapest option, then why wouldn't you take it, to be honest? I can link below to their site where you can go and check it out. Thank you so much to Value Alliance, Scoot and Nok Air for sending Jess and I on one of the most incredible holidays that we've ever been on. It was such a beautiful, beautiful trip and honestly kind of life-changing in a little way. We really, really enjoyed it. So thank you so much, Value Alliance, for having us. And now you get to see why I didn't show my face. Oh no. And that is because my life is a mess right now. Not my life, just I'm very stressed because I'm trying to move out of my apartment here in Tokyo, and I'm also finishing up the last week of work, and I'm trying to close all my accounts and figure everything out before I leave, and it's very stressful. I'm sure you can see that on my face. And also behind me yeah, my room looks very different than it normally does. Yeah, I'm running out of time. I need to leave for work right now and I'm not ready at all. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope that it's been helpful for you. And if you're traveling to Chiang Mai soon, make sure you share this with your friends, give it a thumbs up and comment below. Comment below if you've done any of the things that I mentioned in here and what you would recommend to other people, because I'm sure other people could get some value from that. But yeah. Thank you so much for watching this video. I'm sorry for my face and I'll see you next time. Bye!